Hello, everyone. So, we're doing a mini cases video today. Today, we're talking about the cases of Keke Jefferson Moore, Myron Nakao, Vernon Bowman, and Francis O'Donnell. So, basically, these types of videos I do when there's not a whole lot of information to just do a video dedicated to these people. Maybe there's not a whole lot of information, not a whole lot of photos, and I will usually put like 2 to 6 people in one video. And that is what we're doing today. And like I said, we're talking about 4 different people. And I want to start off with Keke. But before we do, just real quick, there are links down below to my other podcast, Sinister, if you'd like to check that out. There's also a link to a case suggestions form. And there's also links that I used for my research if you would like to check those out as well. But like I said, we're going to start with Keke. So Keke was born in September 1980 to Janetta and Jefferson Moore. To Janetta Jefferson Moore and Benjamin Moore. She was the youngest of 3 siblings and had an older brother and sister. She grew up in Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. She was outgoing, she was friendly, and she loved riding her bike, and she loved makeup. She had a passion for writing and photography, and she graduated in 1998, and she took a job as a telemarketer after graduation. But she hoped to eventually go to college to study journalism. Unfortunately, she would not get to. On the morning of September 23rd, 2000, the day began normal as usual in Golden Valley in Minnesota. 2 people were taking a morning walk alongside Theodore Worth Lake when they spotted a body of a young woman in the water. The police were notified before 10 a.m. So the call indicated a possible drowning, but when they arrived, the victim was fully clothed and had no ID, but soon she was ID'd as Keke. An autopsy showed that she did not drown, she was murdered. They believe that she was killed elsewhere and disposed of at the lake. The exact cause of death has not been revealed. They did believe that she had not been in the water very long, believing she'd been placed there between 11 a.m. and 5 p.m. the previous day. Days after, an unnamed 24-year-old man was arrested and booked on suspicion of homicide. So there is an unknown relationship between him and Keke, but they did know each other. He was eventually arrested after being questioned, and he was never formally charged. No one else has publicly been named a suspect, and the case is still unsolved to this day. Anybody with any information is urged to contact the Golden Valley PD at 763-512-2500. And I will have a photo of Keke on the screen before we move on. Moving on to Myron. So on the evening of July 23rd, 1997, the 51-year-old was discovered unresponsive on the sidewalk area of Makalua Street in Honolulu, Hawaii. He had been beaten and was transported to the hospital in critical condition, where he later died. He had been seen earlier at a bar I'm so sorry, let me stop this video so I can figure out how to pronounce this, and I'll be right back. In the Keeaumoku area. Anybody with any information is urged to contact Crime Stoppers at 808-955-8300. And I will have his photo on the screen before we move on. Moving on to Vernon. So on July 11th, 1983, the Mesa, Arizona PD started to investigate the homicide of Vernon, who was 48 years old, whose body was found in his residence. He had a small circle of friends, and one or more of them may have information. And that's all I have on that case. That is the only thing I could find about Vernon. If you have any information, you are urged to contact the Mesa, Arizona Police Department. And I will have his photo on the screen before we move on to the last person we're talking about today. Moving on to Francis. So, 21-year-old Frances's body was found in her residence. Witnesses saw someone leaving her home shortly before she was found, and this was on June 22nd, 1988 in Mesa, Arizona. And anybody with any information is urged to contact the Mesa, Arizona Police Department as well. I will have her photo on the screen. I will say that the only photo I could find of her is extremely blurry, so I'm very sorry. The link that I'll have down below for her, you can see like maybe better quality version of one. It's the same photo essentially, but because it's in like a smaller form, it's less grainy. So I do apologize, but it's the only photo of her that I could find. And that is everyone that I have on my list to speak about today. These videos are typically a lot shorter than the other ones that I do, but I still like doing them because it gives me a chance to put out more names and faces out there that might otherwise not get talked about. If you have any information that could help any of these cases, you are urged to contact the phone numbers that I have provided you with today. Thank you so much, and I will see you guys very soon. Bye, guys.